Hello everyone. Today we're going to go over something that's overlooked by a lot, but integral to a great many. So, what add-ons do I use for World of Warcraft? So here you can see what I use. I originally intended to use Azeroth Autopilot for alts and such, but I've just kind of abandoned using that. Since one bag stopped working, I'm now using Bagnon, which essentially means it's very customizable, and I just like having one bag for all my bags. The threat meter I just installed. I actually haven't even put it into practice yet. I've just quite literally installed it, as well as DBM. So DBM, I remember most of the bosses, but let's be honest, I don't remember all the bosses. So I figure that's important. 5-second roll is integral to any caster, especially healer, that's not a paladin. Priests, druids, even mages while grinding. Basically anything. It tells you when you are starting to regenerate mana, so it's really nice to be able to plan around and keep your mana flowing in. The reason I got mixed scrolling combat battle text was so I can actually see how much I heal people for with green numbers popping up on my screen. It feels really good, because otherwise you don't get to see how much you heal people for. Of course, NUI, I am a huge fan of NUI. It really just makes I just really love the way NUI looks. It just looks so great. Excuse me, OmniCC. I like having actual numbers on my cooldowns and tells me when it's actually ready to go again. Vendor price, pretty obvious what it does. It helps you make money, basically, so you know if it's better to vendor something or disenchant it or even vendor, or even auction it if possible. Weapon swing timer's really good for hunters. If you're a hunter, you borderline need to have a swing timer, or at least an auto shot timer. Easy junk, very much just a convenience add-on. Essentially, now this can hurt you in the very beginning of the game, but let's be honest, in the very beginning of the game, it doesn't really matter if you accidentally sell your gray gloves. Essentially, if it's gray in your inventory, it sells it. So, yeah, like levels 1 through 10, this can screw you a little bit, but just before you go to a vendor, equip what you don't want to get sold. There you go. You cheated the system, man. You're good. If you don't know what Deadly Boss Mods is, I don't know what to tell you. You apparently haven't played WoW in, I don't know, must be 10 years, like me. I installed it when Legion came out. Made bosses a heck of a lot easier. Not sure they're really needed until Blackwing Lair, but I figure, yeah, might as well, right? I don't remember all these bosses, so I don't want to be that guy that gets everybody killed, so I might as well do that. Essentially, it tells you what's going to happen and when it's going to happen, or at least gives you a good guess as to when it's going to happen, so you're not surprised going, oh god. That can lead to wipes. And of course, Questy, I probably should update that, because it's kind of, it's an old version. It's like before, it's like the beta version, but it still is working, so I was like, well, so that's what I'm using. I would say you don't really need Azeroth Autopilot. The reason I don't take it is because it tells you to do some quests that sometimes it's just not feasible to do. Like it tells you to go to the Danethil Barrow in Aldrassil, or the World Tree, the Night Elf starting area, when you're level 8, and it's like, oh, hell no. I ain't doing that. Now, you could get a group and go in there fine, but, if you have to go in there word for word. If you don't follow it step by step, it can quickly become untenable to use this add-on. Excuse me, but if you have a buddy, it's not that bad. It's actually very darn efficient. I wouldn't say it's the most efficient, but it's very darn efficient for a pre-made questing map, essentially. Tells you where to go, big arrow pointing you where to go. You've seen it on my stress test footage. I was testing it out. I haven't used Luna unit frames because honestly I don't need them anymore. I fixed that with NUI. That was before I put in NUI. I just need to take that on my thing. So that's what I use for Classic WoW. Add-ons. You can mix and match, and that's the great thing about WoW. You can just kind of put what add-ons you like in there. Doesn't have to be what I like. What do you want? I get them from... I'm just going to alt-tab out here so I get them from CurseForge, personally. So, up to you where you get them. Just telling you where I get them. So, yeah. You can also get them from legacy-wow.com/classic-addons. That's where I got Auctionator. That's the only place I could find it. But, yeah. I highly recommend that you do get some kind of add-ons. It makes the game so much easier, and you make a lot more money if you use something like Auctionator and Vendor Price. If you use those two in conjunction, you will make a lot more money, provided you make intelligent decisions. As far as the DBM, well, do you want to be that person that screwed the group? Hopefully not. So, there you go. I'm not saying if you don't know everything about the boss, you're going to screw the group, but do you really want to take that chance? There are some bosses that can have mechanics that if one person screws up, you all die, but that's rare and classic from what I remember, but I might be wrong. I haven't run many dungeons yet. But that's all I got for today, everyone. Real quick video for today, but an important one because add-ons can make or break your MMO classic experience. And for people who might just want to know what I was using, I just installed DBM and whatever I just said. The one I just installed was DBM and the threat meter. I just installed quite literally just like 2 minutes ago. So beyond that, that's all I got for today. I gotta go and get some work done tonight before I can log back in again. And then once I do that, I'll be able to play all night. Well, not all night, but quite a few hours. I always put in quite a few hours every day. That's probably not something I'm proud of. But I do, so here we are. I will see you all Thursday. Later, everyone. Until then.